I guess a cat showed up. Are you hungry? Is that you who woke me up? Beast. Alright, let's see what's new with the journal. Saturday, Marianne visited BRC to pick up the floor plans. She was assisted. Doesn't seem new. I think I already... Oh. Two, Marianne visited the Wrights penthouse to discuss work with the couple. While waiting for them, Marianne decided to investigate a violent crash she heard. There was something odd. Very spooked, Marianne accidentally bumped into Luke Wright. Although things were awkward between the two, Marianne insisted they keep things professional and simply forget about what happened nights ago. I think that's it. No. Marianne examined the ground floor upon arrival at the mansion, with Luke Wright barring her entry into the music room. She headed to the wine cellar. A ghost from her past visited her there. Despite that, she gave her word that she would see through the project until the end. I think that was before she saw the ghost. Relationship status. Hannah likes her more, but not as much as Luke. Or Isabella, who is still probably dead, and I hope not. But I got this sinking feeling. Currently, we won't know until the end who lives and who dies, and... Well, continue on. A content purr comes from my sweet dear before she jumps off the bed and trots toward the kitchen. I don't ever think I've ever seen a cat trot. It's not something I see from a cat. On the other hand, it takes me a bit more before I roll out of bed and start my day. Mornings before work is always a quiet affair. Shower first, then a mug of coffee and a bowl of oats. Sometimes I do stretches, and I always check my work email. The Wrights will be moving into the mansion today. I don't think the paperwork is officially done yet, but it isn't too far-fetched to think they were allowed to start their move despite that. Rich people like them will always find ways to get what they want, after all.
I'll be leaving you again today, Beth. So you behave and make sure not to shred up my new covers, okay?
Oh, she will definitely shred up those new covers. And try to eat your poster, and try to eat the picture of your assistant on your desk.
And don't worry, I didn't forget tomorrow is Black Cat Day, so I'll throw you a party.
Didn't know there was a Black Cat Day.
But only if you behave like a proper lady.
Barely gives me a glance, as I say that before going back to her own food. Cats. Still better than humans, most of the time. Too bad I have to work with humans. Place is already busy as soon as I get here. Oh my god, the smell. You know, I didn't know cats could fart. Till I had these cats. My experience prior to that was only dogs really farted, not cats. It was quite the surprise. The foreman, one that I've recommended to the Wrights for his work ethic, working very little while charging a lot and paying his workers barely anything, is early as usual. Already he's instructing men here and there with the bigger loads. I have no chance to talk to him as Mrs. Wright appears and greets me with a smile.
Mrs. Wright, I hope everything has been to your liking thus far.
Yes, it has. You can tell by the fact that she's floating.
Good morning, Marianne. It has been delightful, and these men have been very helpful.
She is so happy. I wonder just how helpful they've been. And is that chandelier new? I don't remember that chandelier being there.
Look at all this. It's so busy here. I'm getting tired just looking at them go.
Just the combination of, yeah,
No complications so far with the movers or the previous owners of the mansion, I hope?
Oh, the previous owners are dead.
If anything, the only one being problematic is Luke, if I'm to be honest.
He's locked himself in the music room.
He can be such a diva, but I do like that about him.
Strange. She stops, looking up at the upper landing where Mr. Wright comes through with two other movers in the mirror from the study.
Oh, do be careful with that mirror. We wouldn't want anyone getting hurt because of broken glass.
Specifically, it's not because the glass hurt them, but because she will hurt them.
Why are you even having it carried around?
Oh? You did say you didn't want the mirror, and I keep getting distracted by it. If I'm going to turn the study into my office, I'd rather not have it there. Where can we put this?
Well, you are not putting it in our room.
Oh, come on. You can watch yourselves go at it.
Why don't you go, I don't know, put it in the wine cellar for now? We can figure out to full store it in the attic or somewhere else later, yes?
Some way, somehow, Marianne is going to end up in the wine cellar with that mirror.
You heard her, boys. To the cellar it goes. Mush!
The movers bring down the mirror one step at a time, no matter how much the man tells them to hurry. Bravo, gents. An unsettling feeling grows in my stomach as I see our reflection in the bloody thing. That's the mirror from my dream. Mrs. Wright only shakes her head and laughs at her husband's antics as they take the mirror out of here. He's back and at it again soon enough, pointing the men here and there. I'd say he's the man with the plan, but it sort of interferes with the layout and design that we've agreed upon before. I'm about to point it out, but...
It's better you let him realize his mistakes on his own, rather than tell him of them. That way you do not get blamed for his actions.
Oh my god, he's one of those people.
It is more fun, too, to tell him, how does they say it? I told you so, once he slips up.
Been working with him long enough to know that, huh?
It's not like I plan to make too much of a fuss unless what he changes is actually crucial.
It happens often enough, when one is made to accompany him nearly all hours of the day.
Up, higher. Come on now.
Still, he could at least be less pushy about things.
Careful now. I know your pictures are framed by cheap plastic, but those are framed by African blackwood and are one-of-a-kind commissioned paintings.
See, every rich person should go on a pilgrimage of sorts, where they have to spend, I don't know, like 3, 4, 5 months out of the year in poverty. Get some perspective, appreciation.
Each one is easily worth a lifetime of what you lot make.
I mean, unless they grew up in poverty already, but if they inherited wealth, then yeah, they should. It is surprising how hands-on he is compared to my usual clientele. Well, the both of them are, actually. It's refreshing to have them participate, despite their initial reluctance.
Luke, do the dishwashers go into the kitchen or the butler's pantry?
Pantry, Buttercup. Careful, that's Emma. No, you there, put that down. You do not manhandle a Napoleon Abueva.
He really needs to tone down the dramatics a notch. Mrs. Wright and the butler look like they were used to it by now. But the rest of us, well...
Sweetie, why don't we go and sort your suits upstairs? Let your Hans and Marianne and the foreman deal with the rest of the work.
We have this, Mrs. Wright.
Yes, please do go before a blood vessel bursts. Bloodstains are so troublesome to clean.
Blood vessel will burst from him murdering people. There is an obvious sense of relief as Mr. Wright is dragged out of the room, leaving the movers to do their work in peace. Some grumbling even comes from some of the younger workers. It's a good thing the family butler isn't some blindly loyal tool to his boss, or there will be trouble with Mr. Wright.
He is such a bratwurst. Whiny baby who never got enough hugs from his mutter.
Probably lost in translation, and not that I'm condoning talking about someone else behind their back, but I think you meant to call Mr. Wright a horrible brat.
Oh, I called him a sausage, right?
Well, he is that too. There are a lot of things I can call him, but I mean to say that he is a big weenie.
Yes, he's sausage.
A childish name for a childish person. Like a child, he whines when he doesn't get what he wants, and he breaks the toys that he has.
That gets a laugh from me, as well as a few of the movers who linger near. He and I carry boxes, instructing the movers where they should be, and generally taking over Mr. Wright's work. It goes off without a hitch, and the man is helpful, efficient, and capable with physical labor, despite his clean-cut appearance and his effeminate style. Gentleman to boot, taking boxes from me when he sees me struggling with them. Or just part of that efficiency. Speaking of
Hey,
boxes...
one of the boxes for the kitchen is missing.
Uh-oh, it's in the cellar with the mirror.
Has anyone seen it? The one with the pots and the knives.
The Bratwurst had it brought upstairs, thinking it was for the attic.
The kitchen in the attic. How quaint.
Why would he... Oh, never mind. I'll go get it.
Why even bring a box of pots and knives to the attic? That man is ridiculous. There's probably no point in making sense of what he does if he does them just because he can. At least it turns out that I don't have to make it all the way up to the attic. The mover, probably on Mr. Wright's orders, left the box on the stairs. My god, Cat. Just pick a spot and stay there.
At least it's not that heavy.
I managed to hoist it up without too much effort. But the time it takes for me to do that is long enough for me to overhear an odd conversation I could never in my life imagine coming from a couple like the Wrights.
Why, if you're not careful, I might go a bit loopy and I'll start bringing cats home.
Uh-oh. Why isn't she already doing that? I mean, they could start a cat sanctuary. That would be my priority.
And soon enough, one day you'll find yourself going home to a farm just filled with felines that follow you everywhere.
Oh, don't bluff. The things would shred up your precious furniture.
Yes, they would.
Besides, you don't even like cats.
She's a horrible person.
True, true. Dogs are infinitely superior, of course.
They shit everywhere.
But what about the wet dog smell? The mess. I'm not cleaning up after a mutt, no matter how cute.
Yeah, it's not like dogs can use cat boxes. It's the only nice thing. Cat boxes.
If you think about it, a cat would be better.
I mean, it's not the only nice thing, but you know what I mean. For once, I'll have to agree with Whiskey on this one, though I can live with Mrs. Wright being a dog person. But as amusing as this conversation might get, I really shouldn't be caught eavesdropping or slacking off on the job. At most, I should be looking at ways of possibly soundproofing certain rooms, perhaps bringing it up if they don't realize the lack of it. I really should just move on. Oh. Yeah, really should move on. Bravo. No matter how bizarre the conversation might get, I really must go. Not to mention, just standing here when I have no other reason to loiter just feels wrong. Besides, the magic word here is privacy, and I respect that. Keep it in mind, and I won't have a guilty conscience filled to the brim with the secrets of the rich and famous in my hands. I'd take the stairs 2 steps at a time if I wasn't in danger of getting stabbed by my baggage and if nobody else was in the foyer. But as Johannes takes the box from me, I only give him a small smile. There is no reason to gossip about the peculiar conversation of his employers getting cats or not, which there is nothing interesting about it. He's probably heard much odder things from them, like them going at it, but he doesn't seem to be a cat or a dog person either. Probably a hamster. Team hamster. As soon as I follow him into the kitchen, he raises a hand to stop me and then orders me down into the cellar for no reason. I don't question it, and I follow.
9. I know you are a very skilled in architect, and I have seen your work. But this shall be my kitchen, and I shall fix it according to my wishes. Yeah?
Kind of weird. Anyone would think that pots and knives are supposed to go anywhere but the kitchen, huh?
Oh, she is really stuck on that.
I assume he's gotten them confused. It wouldn't be the first time.
Confused? How does that even work?
They were the items that are used not in the kitchen.
I understand covers, carpets, or even curtains getting mixed up. Hey, I'd even understand pots being mixed up with silver decor. But knives?
Oh, he has a collection of ornamental ones from his father. It takes them everywhere he goes, wherever he moves.
From his... What starts with a V? I don't know. Nothing's coming to mind.
I guess that makes sense? A bit?
Wait. Did that say... I need to see this. I need to see. What is this branching tree? Okay. Feature shows outline of a current chapter and has content that others might deem as spoilers. Do you know? Backlog. Takes him everywhere he goes. What? Okay, wherever he moves. I hope that's what it is.
Oh, he has a collection of ornamental ones from his father. It takes them everywhere he goes, wherever he moves.
That's a nice little feature. You can play back whatever. I like that. Yeah, hopefully it's not he takes him everywhere and just wherever he moves.
Still odd.
He merely shrugs before going back to work. The movers work efficiently even when they're left alone, and they do quick work of their responsibilities despite the fact that they are plebs. The head foreman comes, standing in the doorway to consult me on this or that, and I have to go help out every now and then. But they pretty much have everything up to standards, surprisingly, for plebs. They skip lunch entirely, not even realizing when they do so. Oh geez, don't do that. You don't owe anyone, any employer, for skipping lunch. You take that lunch. Nevertheless, all is well as the butler gets to heating up the leftover bubble and squeak from breakfast? I'm gonna guess this is a weird, not weird, but this is a thing over there. It makes a generous batch of fish and chips for them. Most likely simple in comparison to what he serves to the rights, but well done nonetheless.
That smells good. Want to wrap up some for me to go?
It's an idle observation more than anything. My thoughts, as they are, preoccupy me.
If there are any left. One can't go wrong with fish and chips. Everyone loves them. Even my husband. And he's American.
I really do hate getting up so up close and personal with my clients. It's a distraction, like, and being married to an American. It's obvious to me that I've gotten my priorities all wrong when I can't help but think about what I heard, what I learned about the right couple, about their whole cat thing. These things have a way of creeping up on a person. Thoughts, ideas, whether they are fact or fiction, or if they truly will get those cats or a dog. They creep up and fester, crawl and writhe in ways that twist like those goddamn cats. I hear giggling, delighted and mocking. They creep up and... the sensation of fingers ghosting briefly on my arm causes me to freeze and hiss like a cat.
Don't!
He touched you. I half expect her to be there, but it's just Johann.
No need to scream bloody murder.
Oh, he was violating your arm, huh?
It's just me. Quiet down before you break glass.
But it's just whiskey.
Don't do that again. Ever.
You get permission first, before touching another person's arm. I don't like being scared, but I don't believe in the likes of spooks. Being startled is not on the top of the list of things Marianne liked. Especially all that incidents in the cellar. Lucky for him, I have nothing within reach, or he would have gotten on friendly terms with something like a rolling pin. That box of pots and knives.
What was with that reaction? Were you really scared? Has Johans been telling you ghost stories? He just loves to scare people. Isn't that right, Brother Gurium?
Butler's expression is unreadable. I hardly see any emotion on his face to begin with since I started working for the Wrights, aside from vague amusement. There must have been something there, though, judging from Mr. Wright's own content look. The expression on Mr. Wright's face is almost cruel. But neither of them spoke, even as Johans leaves the room to serve the workers their late lunch.
So, now that we're alone, Marianne, what are you so jumpy for?
I was just thinking about all the urban legends the movers have been telling me about this place.
Time to have those plebs flogged.
Don't tell me you believe in that tosh. They're nothing but tales made up to scare children. Timmy, Billy, don't you dare go up to that big mansion and get in trouble there. The ghosts are going to get you.
That's a boring way to look at it, but that's usually what it is anyway, no? Like I said, I was just thinking.
Go downstairs and go into the crack. It'd be a relief, actually, if those rumors of this place being haunted is true. That just means I'm not going crazy. Hearing, let alone seeing, a dead person isn't exactly the symptoms of a healthy mind. Although, there could have been some kind of spores down there. I've had experience with mold spores. That was not fun, although there was no hallucination, just very fuzziness. Sure, it means there would be such things such as ghouls and goblins, but at least I'd be sane. On the other hand, there would be actually a dead girl walking around.
If you could excuse the inane question, Mr. Wright, you haven't noticed anything weird here?
Aside from you, Marianne. A simple enough question on the surface, yet I notice the man stiffen as the question leaves my mouth. I wouldn't have noticed it if I wasn't watching his reaction intently, but in his eyes I see something dangerous.
It depends on your definition of the word weird. Are we still on the topic of this place being haunted?
Well, what else?
Because no, things have not started to fly around and we have yet to require an exorcism. I don't think my head would like to do the whole 180-degree turn thing.
Well, maybe that, but no strange people?
Aside from my usually weird butler and all the weird men traipsing around touching my things? No, not really. Why do you ask? Have you noticed anyone strange while you were here? Because you must report it to Johans and he'll have security handle it.
Very curious about this security. Like, do they actually have a security detachment? What is up with that?
But these reports better not be about ghosts and things that go bump in the night. I don't want to waste manpower on the boogeyman or senseless witch hunts.
I'll keep that in mind, Mr. Wright. But no, it's nothing like that.
Because security is just so busy doing stuff.
I guess the mansion is just strange for me. It's a unique project.
No strange men or women lurking about then?
A dead teenager would technically qualify as strange. But yeah, the whole I see dead people thing isn't gonna go over well.
None that I know of. But I'll inform Johans immediately if something comes up.
I'm serious, Mint. You see anything, anyone suspicious, and you report it. Immediately.
Oh, he's on edge. Because he knows he's being investigated. He murdered someone, left them in a couch.
I think that goes without saying.
Concern he had on the talk of security is quickly gone. His arrogant, smug smirk returns, if a bit subdued. Whatever smarmy remark or innuendo he has at the ready never comes, though, as voices from the dining hall ring out.
So, is this a full-time job for you then?
Uh-oh.
Nah, I just freelance mostly, for magazines, newspapers, and events. So you can't really call it a full-time job.
Oh, that sounds like Zach.
It's fun and it puts food on the table, but It's not what I really want to do.
Who really wants to do that?
At least not all the time.
That would be the magazine photographer, I presume. As always, Mrs. Wright talks in such a kind and cheery fashion no matter who she's talking with. It certainly puts people at ease around her. It sounds like it's working on the photographer, too. Hearing them, though, seems to put Mr. Wright in a sour mood. At least if his small scowl is anything to go by. Is he jealous? I don't know what to do. Like... It's not obvious. I'm gonna guess try to lighten the mood. I don't know. Don't know. Maybe this is a serious time. Maybe ask if he's alright, or I don't know. Really hard to read this guy. Try this.
Hey, are you all right there, Whiskey? You're looking like you need a serious drink.
Oh, you really like that.
What is it that you want to do then?
Films. Documentaries mostly. But cinematography is a lot more difficult than photography, right? I was working on this thing, actually.
I'm fine. Just a bit winded from all that moving about. It's been a long day.
You're an odd one. Don't know how to read you. So, mercurial.
And the day's not over yet. So if you can excuse the bluntness, you either shape up to help or ship out back to your room and let us do the rest of the work.
What? I don't understand you, Marianne. Why? He hesitates, eyes locked firmly on the door that led to the dining hall. Even now, we can still hear as Mrs. Wright and the photographer chit-chat in between shots.
It's not my place to say this, but she really does seem to care a lot about you, you know?
But it was your place to say what you said before? Weird.
There's no need to remind me of that.
Unfortunately, right? A strange smile appears on his face before he shuts his eyes and sighs.
Tell the workers that you're all dismissed early.
That's nice and all, Whiskey, but we really shouldn't just take off. Delays aren't a good thing when it comes to big projects like these. The sooner we tackle certain issues, the better.
And I trust you can take care of these issues another day. Don't make me ask again, Mint. Just tell the others they can go home early, and to not worry, they'll still get paid the remaining hours.
Gods, how weird would it have been if they had slept together. I'm almost curious. Almost. A little disgusted, a little curious. I don't know what prompted this. With the air he's putting on, though, I know better than to meddle and prod further. Besides,
Fine, you're the boss.
walking out of the kitchen, I just accept the fact that whatever he says will go while under his roof. Mrs. Wright and the photographer are still far too busy in conversation to notice me, even as I make my way through the dining hall. Besides, I didn't want to ruin their fun.
Well, it wasn't really a big thing.
Don't talk about your penis like that, dude.
People didn't like Blue Fonzie very much.
Oh, okay.
People don't like a film about colors. I suppose they would have liked Blue Bibby a lot more.
Oh shit, just so clever. Going to the foyer has me stumble upon the family butler once more, who raises a brow at my presence like, what are you doing here?
And where are you off to in a hurry, Miss McCulloch? The foreman is looking for you.
The Bratwurst wants us off the clock. He's dismissing us early because of... Oh, I don't know.
Why are you upset?
He just wants us out of here.
I'll go and call a cab for you then. It would be for the best that you leave when he asks you to.
Otherwise, he's gonna get the knives. I don't doubt it. Uh-oh. It's nighttime. My ride back to the city doesn't take too long to get here. Granted, there were some difficulties at first because the driver didn't know where the Ermengerd Mansion is. He tried to have us hand over GPS coordinates from our smartphones or some other techno babble I didn't care about because I don't need to learn technology. and the butler didn't understand what GPS coordinates are. But as soon as we told him it's that haunted mansion over in Anselm Village, he knew just the place and refused to come any further. And finally headed over, albeit with some hesitation. All the way back to the city, the driver keeps complaining about that place giving him the willies. I had no idea that place was sticking wet digits into his ears. It gave me the willies too. I would have loved to snap at him. But as soon as the thought occurs to me, another blossoms in the forefront of my mind. One that has somehow bothered me greatly. More than my exasperation over whiskey in his project or wanting all of it to stop. Like, are they actually going to get cats or not? There has been no Lorraine whispering over my ears today. Worse, I find myself searching for it. Searching for her. Damn new earthy. I don't know. Loose ends. Effing bloody loose ends everywhere. Thought I've already moved past this years ago. And it does nothing to help me curb my frustration. If anything, it only ensures that I want a stiff drink. And where else do I go to drink? And then run into him again. Tuesdays are for karaoke and Wednesdays are for improv, where you definitely need to be drunk. Usually it's these four guys who do hilarious games. The one with Irish drinking songs are always a crowd favorite. Though I love a good laugh, stand-up comedy isn't my thing, and without Cam or Harana or any other distractions, I end up drinking a lot more this time. And when there's several bottles of beer in me, I get really, really embarrassing.
Hey! G! Psst! G, come over here. I need you for something.
Oh boy. Don't proposition the bartender like that. It's a good thing that the bartender is a nice fellow. I'd probably have been kicked out of other places by now, or worse. If push comes to shove, all he would do is give me an easy smile and shake of his head, even when he's attending to other customers. Just like now.
Give me a moment, will ya? I gotta go check on her.
Oh, it's the guy. It's the police commissioner. He moonlights as a bartender. He's some Asian guy. No. I'm pretty sure I've seen him here before a couple of times, although he never talks to anyone except G. And the girls used to be all over him too, but he always turned them away.
I'll be here. You go do that before she falls over.
Oh my god, Asian Joe. Okay, yeah, it would be Ash, right? He's the only Asian guy, because he wears that weird coat.
All right. What is it? Do you need someone to help you get home?
Bartender, pour the wine.
That's weird.
I think that's enough alcohol for you, little missy. I'm cutting you off.
Yeah, like, why would you want to end the night with wine? I mean, the whole beer before wine or whatever, doesn't quite work like that, but still. The wine comes from the back of my throat. Oh, she did get the wine after all, as he pulls my bottle away. I have no hope of getting them back once they're behind the counter. Even in my drunken mind, I don't dare hop over it for them. Because what little sense I have left knows I'd sooner take a floor dive than succeed in wresting a bottle from a sober man. She's tried, and it has gone exactly like that. But that doesn't stop me from trying to reach out with my arms like a stupid idiot anyway. He smiles and shakes his head just like I know he would. We're going back to the other guy.
Right now, where were we? How you holding up, boy?
With no drink and no one to really chat with, I would have gone home or gone to sleep on the bar right there and then. But I'm not ready to stand up and try to trek back home just yet, not with some Asian guy. Right there.
Same old. I'm still on the Luxborn firm case.
Those blokes they talk about being in dark suits, whisking people into the night or some shit and all that. Didn't the media call it some ridiculous name in the morning news?
What is it this time? Wait, don't answer that. They've called it a lot of things. As long as people don't start running around claiming they're the Illuminati.
No, they're the Bilderberg group or something.
So, what have you got for me this time, G? Anything good?
I haven't kept up on the conspiracy theories about rich people controlling things. Although that's not quite conspiracy theories.
Slow down there. You haven't even told me what sort of dealing dosh we got. Who are you looking into this time?
Their talk would have interested me, would have kept my attention if I gave a damn. But in my current state, I can barely give two F's about the things going on around me. All these words are just buzzing, barely surfacing from the sea of sounds that is the pub. And it would have stayed that way, perhaps even drowned, if I didn't hear his name.
Luke Wright. You know the guy. And don't pretend like you don't, G. It takes a special kind of ignorant not to know who he is.
Especially since he comes to this bar.
That smug blonde who likes throwing round his money. He was just here a few days ago, as a matter of fact. Great tipper, if you think him just dumping a wad of cash on the counter after having too much whiskey counts as tipping. Why are you asking? He dirty?
You have no idea, G. He's probably the worst sort you can imagine.
Luke effing Wright. Effing whiskey. Even without him around, I'm still hearing about the guy. What the absolute. Despite this, I find myself getting up and sauntering over to join them before I pipe up. Sauntering. Interesting. I wonder how that actually worked out in her drunken state.
Is this smack talk about Luke fucking Wright I'm hearing, eh?
Private conversation here, lady.
There's only amusement on G's face. The Asian guy, he starts to look ticked off as hell.
Don't worry, Holmes, she's clean. And she might be able to help you with your, predicament.
Course. A drunk's just stumbled through here with what I need. Get real, G. No offense, lady, but you're smashed.
I know, right? Nothing beats being drunk after a hard day's work. Especially when you're working for Mr. Luke Wright.
So, she works for the guy?
Oh. That body language.
Doesn't that make her, I don't know, suspect?
See, have a little faith in me, why don't ya?
See, the bartender is the police commissioner. That's why he's consulting with him on the case.
I don't have much, and you might as well have something to go off. You're the one who was so desperate to come running to me for business.
Yoo-hoo! Still right here, fellas. 5'11". Can't miss me. Unlike Shorty over here. What's with that mad look? You want to dance, boy? You don't look like you can bust a groove. Maybe a leg, but with that fancy coat of yours.
To add insult to injury, I move directly behind him, use the top of his head as an armrest. Oh my god. But when he shakes me off, I plop into the seat right next to him.
Don't try me. You can hardly stay on your feet.
Oh, Holmes.
We don't want to ruin your fancy coat, do we?
Ah, children, the both of you. But you're still standing after all that, are you? Matt, you see this giantess? She's a legendary regular here. Been drinking like there's no tomorrow. I'm a bit jealous. Can't do that anymore or my liver will give out on me. Good with the mic, too. Don't see you much recently, but I guess you're always busy, aren't you? You're some fancy designer or something, if I remember correctly.
Wait, I know you. You were at the open house for the mansion.
Yeah, that's right. Marianne McCulloch. I'm a famous interior designer extraordinaire. Ooh, that rhymes. Anyway, you guys were talking about that weenie Luke Wright, right?
Or something. Can't really talk about it. I don't even know if I can trust you, even if G said you're clean. But anything would be of help.
Well, I don't gossip about my clients, if that's all there is to this.
But they're gonna get cats. They're gonna get cats. They might get cats. I think they might get cats. They might get dogs. I don't know. It's gossip.
You wanted to gossip about him a few minutes ago, Marianne.
And that was the beer talking, not Marianne.
You won't mind if we ask the beer a few questions then?
Maybe. Depends on who's asking and what they're asking. But seriously, that guy is abso-fucking-lutely frustrating. One moment, he's an absolute dickhead. And then he's acting like an actual decent human being the next. I just can't figure him out. I can't imagine how that pretty wife of his can put up with him. If I were her, I'd dump his flat arse straight up.
Oh, his ass is flat. Interesting. And I'm not just saying that because I think Hannah's pretty or anything, and I don't want to bang her. Luke is a catch too. What? They both are. But I really cannot, for the love of all things holy, see how they even work out together.
So, Luke Wright, have you noticed anything strange about him while you were working with him? Anything peculiar? Of note?
Guy is not consistent.
You're the one being peachy right about now, Holmes. But nah, nothing that comes to mind off the top of my head. He's just like most rich, smarmy arseholes and then some.
The giggle bubbles up and I press my cheek against the cool countertop with my eyes shut tight just because floor isn't spinning. Eventually cracking open one eye open, just in case they thought I fell asleep, I grin at Holmes.
So, Holmes, I'm guessing you're some private detective or something. Is it Hannah? Did she pay you to look if he's been cheating or some such?
Hannah's the wife, right? What about her? How is she?
How is she or how is she? Well and good. Definitely the nicer of the two and sexy as sin to boot. Not a private detective then. Are you from one of them tabloids wanting to know if the Luke Wright doesn't know how to put his pants on right? Pants. I'd take the pants off of...
Ew, no. Or she was talking about Holmes or just everyone. Just like, take the pants off everyone in here. It's no pants night. And here we go. Slipping, slippery. I haven't been this drunk in such a long time. It's a miracle I've been coherent for as long as I have been right now.
I'm asking you if you've noticed any odd behavior from her.
Odd behavior? What? I wonder how she'd be drunk. I can just imagine her like the giggly sort. What do you think?
These are serious questions, Marianne. Lives might just be at stake here.
And he's gonna punch someone.
What do you expect? She's smashed.
Why am I even doing this? This is getting me nowhere, G. She's not a reliable source. The chief, let alone the courts, aren't going to take the word of a drunk. This'll be dismissed, and I might be in trouble if they try to argue that I coerced a testimony out of her. This is a fucking train wreck.
You're a fucking train wreck now, if you ask me. Maybe it's about time you apply the brakes and stop for a bit.
Wave of despair that comes over the both of them is palpable. If feelings had a taste, it'd be bitterer than the beer I'm full of. And it gets me thinking, though. Thinking doesn't get me far with too much shite in my system.
You know that's not an option. Thanks for being patient, McCullough. Good luck with your work on that mansion.
And the alcoholism.
Speaking of that mansion, there's something going on in that place. Something. As ocht day! No wonder Mr. Wright likes it so much. It's as fishy as he is. Rotten bloke. Maybe that Santos girl is really onto something, eh? Suspicious shite, I'm telling you. Explains why she's so reluctant.
What do you mean that Santos girl is onto something?
Before I get another word out, there's hands on my shoulders and everything starts to spin as he thrashes me. I quickly slap his hands away, but the best I can, and send him the foulest look I can muster.
Take your hands off me, pipsqueak. I'm not a lady who's shaken or stirred unless you want me up-chucking on your pretty hair. But it's just like I said. Are you sure you aren't brain damaged or deaf? Santos girl from BRC showed us this creepy letter. You know, just like those spam stuff you get in your emails.
Stop giving your email address out to just about anyone. You'll stop getting those things.
And we thought it was some joke or that the girl was just a bit too green to handle a big sale like that. You should have seen the look on their faces when they saw it. whiskey. That's Luke fucking right, you get me? And the missus didn't look too happy either. I should have taken a picture and posted it everywhere. When rich snobs give you that face, no wonder the Santos girl went all mental on us. Working with them does that, you know? I think I'm about to. I'm not mental yet, am I? Anyway, just like I said, in that man... Hey, you okay? Holmes? You're looking a bit shaky yourself there.
He's just watching the train wreck, that's all. And he really is pale, paler than before at least. I can see the gears turning in his head on over time. Suddenly, he shoves a card in my hand. It's a pamphlet for alcoholism. On it, his name, Ashton Frey, and his number. This is a weird proposition for a hookup. But he has a second thoughts as he grabs it from me and slips it into my pocket.
You're cute, pretty boy. But I prefer blondies.
Well, you're not exactly my type either, lady.
But you guys can still make it work.
But
for the
listen
night.
to me. If something comes up, don't do anything rash. If you think you're in danger or if you see anything suspicious, call me and the authorities as soon as possible. You understand me? That's 99...
I know what the damn emergency number is.
Right, 999. Good. Anyway, I have to run. See you, G.
And apparently, 911 also works over there. Just in case. The guy is quick on his feet, already up and at him, as soon as the numbers leave his lips. Watching him as he maneuvers through the crowd of other pub goers is enough to tire me out. Fast as he can, he's out the door and throws us a smile, and that's all we get before he's gone, just like that.
Oi, what about your drink, boy? I'll go put it on your tab then.
Holmes boy always like that, G?
Pretty much. But what about you? I suppose I'll put your drinks on your tab too. Don't want you to spill your wallets when you look like you're close to spilling yourself.
Yeah, and if it's fine by you, I think I'll go take a bit of a cat nap here. Just for a sec or two.
Go right ahead. I'll wake you when I close up shop.
Wow. So much more pleasant than the bartenders I've seen. Okay, well, that's a good place to stop with that snoring. Gods, that's another thing. I didn't know cats could snore. Anyway, next time, we might finish Marianne's chapter. I don't know how long this chapter is. It is quite long. I'm almost tempted to check out that branching tree. Just to see.